Welcome to Get Over It, the consciousness transforming podcast for exceptional 21st century living. Folks, today is our Pride show. The month of June is Gay Pride Month. And I have with me Tomas Prower, who is a friend of the show. He writes excellent books. He's an international author with multiple best-selling books. He graduated from UC Santa Barbara. He holds a couple of degrees there. Then he didn't have enough, so he had to go down to Chile and get some degrees down there, fluent in English, French, Spanish. And he's been given the opportunity to be the cultural liaison for the French government in South America between France, the United States, Chile, Peru. And he's a member of the states of, is that Mercosur, Tomas?
Mercury, yes.
There you go. Thank you. You can find out more about him by going to his website, and that's tomasprower.com, TOMASPROWER.com. Welcome and happy Pride.
Thanks. It's always really exciting to be here.
Well, thank you very much. I wanted to, we were scheduled to do something else, and I was thinking about structuring the show, and it just kind of hit me out of the blue that this is Pride Month and you would be an excellent person to have on. I'd really like to concentrate on the energy out there that is so against LGBTQ plus community. I mean, it's just amazing. And I'd like to also address the Roe versus Wade possible decision and that how that can affect rights. I mean, people aren't realizing that people are just extracting rights from us. So why don't we start with Roe v. Wade and go from there? Based on Roe v. Wade and taking away women's rights, it's just the top of the volcano, so to speak, because I believe if they're taking away women's rights, and I'm talking about the conservative Christian movement and conservatives, period, they're going to start taking away other rights. What are your thoughts on that regarding gay rights?
Really, it's just a lot about it's all of us just realizing and coming to the understanding that this nation, the United States, it's not built on solid stone. The laws we have are not concrete. Things we thought would last forever are not lasting forever. And really, the understanding and again, realization that power in politics is really whoever's in office. And at the end of the day, Democrats and Republicans are pretty much the same. They're all corporate, they're all capitalists. They do not care about you. I'm of the personal belief that the United States is trash. It needs to be ended, chop the tree down, burn the root. But the United States is not ready for full-on revolution yet, even though that is the only way we're going to solve our problems. But with the Roe v. Wade thing, it's understanding that the world is tough because we think we've gotten so complacent in our modern worlds. I mean, life is unbelievably easier than it's ever been in entire human history. We can relax. We have weekends. We can watch the world burn from our TV sets. And we're just so not comfortable with being uncomfortable anymore. Our lives have gotten that unnaturally easy. So if anything makes us upset, makes us feel uncomfortable, we shy away from it, which is why these rights can just be eroded because no one's going to do anything. At the end of the day, no one is going to do anything that is going to matter anyway. So the people in power change it. I mean, does Breonna Taylor still have justice?
No.
If there wasn't violence in the streets, the cops who murdered George Floyd would not have been arrested. If going back to Pride, this whole Pride month is only because trans women of color threw bricks at cops. That is why we have rights. Slavery ended in the Civil War. Monarchy
supposedly.
Revolution. Yeah, it's violence is the answer. So when something like Roe v. Wade happens, they know that, everyone's going to complain for a bit and then they'll die down. And then what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? Wait till 4 years for the next election cycle to happen? There are people.
The same thing happens all over again. I mean, nobody, as you said, nobody's doing anything. So
Yeah, it's
how does one organize to get past this? I mean, there has to be a way past all of this.
um the real answer, the best answer that will make change. If I say it on here, both of us will probably be arrested. That is the only way to actually make meaningful change. But second
Uh-huh.
to that, people only listen if you're not going to use physical violence against people. They only the powers that be only listen to economic interests. So if you're not
Uh-huh.
going to hit them in the face, if you're not going to throw that soup can at the cop or throw it through the Tiffany's window, you got to hit them in the wallet. You have to
Uh-huh.
make them feel and hurt economically. I mean, all the peaceful revolutions that people get lofted up nowadays, like Gandhi was so peaceful. Why you like that? Martin Luther King Jr. is so peaceful. Cesar Chavez, no, those weren't peaceful revolutions. Those were strategized, organized economic attacks upon the
Uh-huh.
powers that be. Gandhi crippled British interest in India till it was not profitable enough. The bus boycott of Montgomery and the economic
Uh-huh.
decline of Black people not buying products. Cesar Chavez, we're not going to work. We're going to hurt and let the crops wither and rot. People are not willing to take a stand anymore because we live such comfortable lives. It's easier to just say, okay, take away this right. We still have our coffee makers. We still have our smartphones. I can still watch Stranger Things at the end of the day. So, oh no,
Yeah,
leave this for me. Go ahead, take this piece. But as long as I have this, I'm okay.
I'm good.
And it,
Um,
yeah, I mean,
oh,
even with the Roe v. Wade, I mean, for queerness, you know, it is a queer issue. This trans people do have uteruses, intersex people. This affects
uh-huh.
us directly, more so than what's just down the line. And we have to go back to the stone wall of old and raise a riot.
But since the people have been gay since the beginning of time, what I'm having a difficult time understanding, and I do have my youngest son is gay, and he didn't come out to me until he was 22, I think. But you know, if you have a baby and you're holding the baby in your arms and you nurture that baby, and that baby grows up and the baby's feeling different than other people that look the same and they come out to you, why can't people freaking accept their kid as they are? I mean, first and foremost, I don't understand that.
I don't. I do not have a child, so I can't weigh in
Okay.
at that level. All I can say is that, from my experience, it sounds very trite nowadays, but it's very true. And it's that you can really only love someone else as much as you love yourself.
Of
You have
yourself. Mm.
capacity. So if you are so lacking in love of yourself and hatred or bitterness or whatever you have welling up inside of you, you cannot give that to a child because you
Mm-hmm.
don't have it within you to give. So it's just, I don't understand this. Hatred,
Mm-hmm.
rejection, because they do not have the love within. It's not an excuse. It's sad, it's to be pitied, but
Mm-hmm.
I think it's because they just don't love themselves.
Well, I remember going into a store about 15, 20 years ago, and I forget what I was buying, but I was talking to the lady, and the subject of, gays in the military actually came up. And I explained to her that, my kid was gay, and all of a sudden her face went stone cold and she goes, pray it out of him,
Oh
pray
God.
it out of him. And I'm like, well, how am I going to pray something out of him? I said, that's who he is. And I love him from the top of his head to the bottom of his feet. So what is the praying out? How does that work? And then I've had several clients who are gay and they come to me and they say, I just can't take it anymore. I get rejection every place I go. And it seems like the year 2022 is poised to become the year of anti-gay legislation. It's like we're just trying to eradicate a group of people. It seems worse than slavery.
Oh, it's bad. It's bad. I'll say that about it. But
Mhm.
it's because again, they can get away with it. At the end of the day, what are people gonna do? Nothing. Are they gonna complain? Okay. They'll stop complaining in a month or a year from now. And it's really everything that's happening to us, it's a bitter pill to swallow, but we are reaping what we have sown, and we deserve it. We deserve it because we
Mhm.
have not been fighting this whole time. We thought, oh, our ancestors did it. They fought World War II, fascism's over. The 60s,
Yeah.
the revolution, they did it. Oh, it's over. We can just live in the luxury benefits, have the laurels on our heads for doing nothing. And now we have to actually do something. And it's like, uh-oh, what? No, that means I have to do something. I have to get up off the couch. I have to do something. Yeah,
I just can't sit back and enjoy.
yes, because back in the old days, the middle class didn't exist. So it was you either had a lot or you had nothing. And so it was a
Mhm.
lot easier for those two classes to clash because it's like, oh, well, we'll get you. But now we have the middle class, which is this weird, everyone praises it because it helps both. It's the base for both of the politics.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's this weird unnatural situation where they're used as if you act up, you can always go down lower with the illusion of,
Mhm.
hey, maybe if you work really hard, you can go ahead and raise higher. But that's not true. And so there's this weird extra step that prevents real change from happening because we have the comfortability of just the middle class.
Mhm. Well, you said if, we truly wake up and get down to the real reasons why everything's going on, that we would both end up in jail. Not a place I want to go, by the way. Um, what can we do? The person who doesn't identify as, gay or any of the other labels that people have been given, what can we do to assist?
Um, it can be as simple as just being kind, being the person
Mhm.
who, if you're on the bus or you're somewhere in public and someone's being very homophobic or anti-trans, being the person who actually steps in for them and say, you know what, that's not cool. What are you doing?
Mhm.
Stop it. Because it's with everything. It's the silence of the allies that makes the world seem even darker. Because if someone's
Mhm.
coming at you, and no one else is saying anything, and they're coming at you hard, not only is that uncomfortable, but you realize how alone you are because there's no one there to help you. So just stepping in, even if that person doesn't stop, it shows to, the victim that
Mhm.
there are good people out there. Not everyone is like this, and people are trying.
Mhm.
I mean,
Boy,
it takes nothing to be kind. It takes no money. It takes no political agenda to be kind. It just takes being human
mhm.
and being willing to do it. And at the most basic, that's what you can do. If you want to go further, just don't buy products from people who are very vehemently anti-phobic. Yes, Chick-fil-A has the most amazing, chicken I've ever had from a fast food place. Do I buy it? No.
No.
I know, I know where that money goes. And really, as in magic, money is magic. It gives power.
Mhm.
It's an emblem of power
Mhm.
that you give to people. And I may be good, but it ain't that good to give them this emblem of power to hurt people with it.
Um,
It's making those little choices every day that amount to the big things.
it's interesting because we have, unfortunately, a Chick-fil-A not too far from our house, within a couple of miles. And every time you go down to that little plaza, I mean, it is full, 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 full. And I asked my kid, I said, well, why is it that sometimes you and your partner go to Chick-fil-A? And he goes, well, he wanted to go. I didn't buy anything. I didn't eat anything. But I just can't even wrap my mind around a person who is identifying other than heterosexual would spend their money. And I'm completely with you with you talk with your wallet,
Oh,
you
yes.
know and you might not think it makes a big deal, but it does. Even one little choice would make a big deal because you're joining others who made one little choice, right?
It's true. And people really underestimate how powerful their one drop in the bucket is. Because no, it's said so many times, but the whole bucket of water through all these little drops can create an ocean. And
Hmm.
all you have to, you're not trying to manipulate the universe to create an ocean. You just have to add that drop and it does
Hmm.
everything. but people think it's too small. They're too inconsequential. They can't do anything. And that's what prevents all these little drops from happening. So it's the comfort. It's just easier to go to Chick-fil-A. You know you're gonna like it. You know it is, I admit, it is very delicious, but
I've never had it.
oh,
I've never had it.
it's not to
That's
be,
how
I
strong
mean,
I am.
good. I support that.
Uh-huh.
That's the way to be. But it's that thing of, do I want this? Will I slightly inconvenience myself if it helps the greater good? And as we found
Mhm.
through the pandemic, a lot of people are not willing to do that.
No, no, they are not. And it really puts a interesting spin on America as a whole and some of the other westernized countries in the world, because we're willing to forget the horrendous, whatever is horrendous going on for our comfort, for our ease, to just keep our life in our little bubble the way it is. At least that's what it seems to me.
Oh no, absolutely. I mean, we're in this situation where, in this weird um clashing of times, where, if you want to get super astrological about it, the from the Fifth Dimension song, the Aquarian age is starting now,
Hmm.
and the
Hmm.
Piscean age is ending. And in the Piscean age, it was very hierarchical. It's very looking up to others to save us, looking for the great person to come and happen. And in the past 2,000
Hmm.
years, that's pretty much been our history. But now the Aquarian age, or the rebels, it's, let's not have a hierarchy, let's have a round table where we can come together and do this. And so you have the hierarchy era meeting this, no, let's be all kind of more equal and more equity, clashing into
Hmm.
each other. And it's creating these times, or at least
Hmm.
making it more amplified, for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. And it's really crazy. But I want to switch gears for a moment. I want to talk about mental health. It's a big story out there in the greater world today. I don't think that people realize how a child who is not heterosexual, how their mental health can be hurt at a very young age, as early as 5 years old. And the reason I use 5 years old is when my youngest was in kindergarten, I used to volunteer in a class when I wasn't, work traveling. And the teacher told them all to draw a picture of themselves, everybody. And my child and two other boys drew themselves, the color that they were, and in a dress. And
Oh
the teacher berated them in front of the whole class.
no.
And I had a few choice words, but that I'm not going to repeat here. But that caused those three children to go into a state of mental impairment because all of a sudden they weren't accepted. And that was kindergarten.
Oh my God.
It it, it just blows me away.
I
So
it's
go
that
ahead.
no, that's real tough. I mean, just the public shame of that, just being berated by everyone else too. But it's reinforcing like what is right and what is wrong, and just trying to make people into what, quote unquote, society thinks they should. But really,
Mhm.
teachers, parents, adults, we're not here to try and mold them into our standards of what we think, whether it's the model citizen, the model child, the model whatever it is we want them to be. Parents and teachers, it's the job to really support, promote this new being on earth, this child, to be the best they can be, however they are, and nurture that and not
Mhm.
mold it. And so often, like parents and teachers too, our child's first bullies.
Yes, whether we realize it or not.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. And so much has to change. But let's switch gears again. In 1999, President Clinton declared June as being Gay and Lesbian Pride Month. So at least there was a little positive push there. But even before that, in 1978, Gilbert, I think it's Barker or Baker,
Mm.
he created and designed the rainbow flag. Um, in San Francisco. Do you want to talk about the flag and its meaning or?
I don't know the full meanings of each color, but I do know that it's constantly changing, and that's not a bad thing. I mean,
Yeah.
now it's the traditional one is the rainbow flag, which is red, orange, yellow,
Hmm.
green, blue, purple, and the horizontal stripes. But now we have what we call the progressive pride flag, which is
Mm.
it's the same horizontal red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, but on the side there's a chevron, which is the pointy angle, like little
Hmm.
triangle coming out of the side,
Hmm.
of the trans colors plus black plus brown. And most recently there's a yellow with, I think it's a very specific color whose specific name I'm not getting, but there's also a circle within that yellow. And so all these
Hmm.
colors are being added, and it's to just show inclusivity, and it's to show that trans people are included, that black, brown people are included. And a lot
Hmm.
of the feedback is, well, no one's a rainbow anyway. Doesn't that just count? Technically, yes. I mean, rainbow is queerness, and we all understand that. But having that more representation, adding it to the flag, it doesn't take away
Hmm.
from anything else. And
No, it doesn't.
if some people need that extra representation and it helps them, great, add that to the flag. That's wonderful. It should be there. It should be inclusive. So it's and who knows what it'll be as we go on, because even when I wrote Queer Magic, my book back in, I think, Lord, when that came out in 2008. So I was working on it
Hmm.
probably 2016, 2017. We have words now that did not exist back then
Yes.
to
Yeah.
describe things. Um, work language is constantly changing. Our understanding of what queerness is constantly changing. And what we understand queerness here in the United States right now in the 21st century is not the same as we understood it years back, not even the same as other countries and cultures understand it. It's very specific to here and now. And
Hmm.
the biggest thing is to just let the mystery be, because we will endlessly learn more. There'll be more shades and colors, there'll be more everything. It's just being okay with that.
Yeah, it's like we really need to grow as a world society to embrace everyone because, if we get shot, we get hurt and or die, we all bleed red. At least I haven't found anybody yet who bleeds a different color. um
True.
we still have the same aches and pains. We all come into life and we all leave life. So I don't understand the difference, just like I don't understand who died and left white people in charge, but hey, that's a whole nother
Oh, that's
conversation. um let's talk for a moment about legalized same-sex marriage. Do you think that if Roe v. Wade falls, that the next thing they'll attack is gay marriage?
I don't know, to be honest. The
Hmm.
court is very, very strange right now, as we're all finding out.
Yes.
It. I mean, getting really down into it, the Chief Justice, Roberts, he's very concerned about his legacy.
Hmm.
And he was the one conservative who that we know of right now was not in favor of overturning Roe v. Wade. But
Hmm.
I mean, I cannot peer into the minds of what's going to happen, but it does show that it is very possible, because if Roe falls, then we realize that none of the laws that we have are ever super concrete. Really, they never really were, but now it's
Hmm.
very evident, it's very apparent that everything can fall, everything can go back. And especially in the way Justice Alito, quote unquote Justice Alito,
Mm.
um, damning
Mm.
thing he wrote for the possibility of the overturn, the majority opinion piece, he went on this wild rant about it, equating it to same-sex marriage, to private consent laws, which is the quote unquote sodomy laws,
Mhm.
making that illegal again. So he went on this big rant saying, like, hinting that those were next. So it is, honestly, it is very possible that it could be next. Will it? Who knows? The only thing I would say is that it seems it's a lot less likely than Roe v. Wade to do that for two main reasons. One, money and finances. Um, abortions are very future based and they're very
Uh-huh.
timely. It happens if you need one and you get one, okay, great. But with marriage, there's so many finances intertwined on so many levels of society, so many different government papers and federal documents and tax systems, and the way the state records things, the way the IRS records things, that the marriage, because it's financially intertwined, it's a lot harder to break. Or
Uh-huh.
even if you want to break it, it's a lot less attractive to break because that dismantles a lot of financial systems. So is it possible? Yes. Is it as likely? No. And the other one is religion, because
Uh,
yeah, a lot of the Christians, oh, don't you, it's murder. Murder, Roe is murder. With queer rights, it's tougher because it's not this quote unquote unknown entity, because it's the unborn are such easy scapegoats for everything, because you can put
uh-huh.
whatever information you want on it and
Uh-huh.
just have it be, oh, perfect, oh, innocence, oh, you're doing this. But when you have queer people that are out there and say, oh yeah, Jack, the gay guy, he's my neighbor, yeah, he's cool, he's my friend, it's a person you have developed a relationship with, which makes it harder to want to take away those people's rights.
Uh-huh.
But again, with Roe, it's this potentiality of the future, of this unseen thing, and everyone makes it what they want it to be, as the deific levels of this pure divinity within you. How dare you? But you can't really do that with an existing person. So roundabout answer, yes, it's very possible. I would say it's less likely for financial
Uh-huh.
and religious reasons, but oh god, anything's possible now.
Yeah, and it's getting a little bit frightening out there that people are not willing to have compassion and love and think forward and let people be whomever they are. If I don't want to associate with someone, I don't have to associate with them, but that doesn't mean that I have to put them down publicly or go on the news and, talk about a whole class of people as if they're not good people. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me. It just doesn't. Um, I would like to um, give you a moment to talk about whatever you'd like to share with us. Our time is almost up, and I do appreciate you being here and sharing this month with us. But what would be your message for people? Forget, whatever the label is. Okay, what is your message for people?
It's the golden rule, really. It's be kind. If everyone is just kind, sympathetic, empathetic, and thinks of others, the world is a much better place. This has been said for eight. I know, nothing new, nothing earth shattering, but it's the basics. But we haven't even gotten the basics right, and we're trying to get very
Mhm.
complicated with society when we cannot even be kind. Let's
Yeah.
start with just being kind, being respectful, and a lot of the problems that we have will be a lot easier to solve if you come from a place of kindness. I mean, sometimes always come from a place of love and kindness. Sometimes you have to break it down for some people, but usually those really, really stubborn and quote, bad people, um, hurt people. And if you can treat people with
Uh-huh.
kindness, you can mitigate a lot of problems before they start. And then the whole world isn't your enemy. It's just those couple people that are obviously bad.
Yeah. Wow. Well, Tomas, thank you very much for being with us today. Folks, we've been speaking with Tomas Prower. Prower, not Lur. You can check him out at his website, and that's tomasprower.com, TOMASPROWER.com. He is an excellent wealth of knowledge. He has the books, The Santa Muerte, Queer Magic, Warrior Magic, I think Morbid Magic. They're all excellent. Okay. If you're interested in magic, this would be great for you. If you just want to expand your knowledge base, his books give you sound information. So, Tomas, thank you for being you. I greatly appreciate you. And to the listeners, I appreciate your time and attention. And everyone, please remember the most important choice that you can make is what you choose to make important. Consider making the masterful choice of being kind. Abundant blessings, light and love to all. Agape.